All right, welcome back. Jian. Who is Jian? Oh, you already talked. Haesong? You see this? And Nicola. Paul. Okay. Those Koreans living outside of Korea, some who likes that, they can use Kakao without having a smartphone number in Korea. So I guess any international student can get Kakao ID, smartphone or notebook or PC. So try connect. I know that there are only 20 something students on the Kakao group now. $25, okay. 25 students on the Kakao group. All right, any question? Any question from previous class or any other item? So now I announce or spread out this new schedule. Do you get, or you don't, anybody who does not have this slide file? This file? No? No. New one. It's uploaded on the Kakao and also on the web. Two sides. That will be the usual way I'm distributing files. I just upload on the Kakao and then TAs will upload to the website. So website may be a little bit late than myself. So Kakao will be the primary communication channel. Okay, today is 7th, so we already did ocean engineering overview and also term project, student lecture, and introduction of students. We have one new face, Mr. Jung Sang-min. He was absent previously. Can you come out and introduce yourself? 30 seconds. Everybody already did, right? So you are late.
Hi, my name is Sung-min. I work at Samsung Heavy Industry in charge of the ship design unit, exterior and interior, also wrapping user interface. So why I picked here because of actually I major is automotive design. So I need to basically this lecture. So
Thank you. I guess he is auditing so that he may not join the serious work together. We'll see. But I invite him to have a talk about his work. He talked about design, but design can be divided into two different ways. inside Korea, we have industrial design, and engineering design. Or say, I don't know whether you use style design. Which one you are using in France? France. Engineering design? Is major design, style design or industrial design. So design of say outer shape of car, interior style of design. So which one you use in France? The terminology for this one. Engineering design is what? You know what? Is industrial design or style design? Industrial. So he has experience on automotive design, style design. Also, now he changed his job to ship style design or interior design. So, sometime we will invite him as a speaker to see what is happening there. Okay. And SNS already talked. Okay. TA, do you have anything to talk about SNS?
So I will create a new group chat. It's not an open group chat, but a regular group chat. So I just need all your phone numbers and with those numbers I new chat by
So
that way everyone will be involved in the group chat. So now we have only like 20 people, but they all 30 people will be
right. So Kakao has there will be a small change. We now in the open chatting group something, but I asked him to make another one for regular Kakao group that is more simpler and easier to talk to each other. All right. Any problem on talking or connecting to Kakao yourself? If you have, please talk with the TA. All right, so then I already assigned you as a lecturer and also discussion leaders. Something like this one. Right? You already see this? All right. Everyone is on the list. I need to include Jung Sung-min somewhere in, say, end of the semester something. There is one. And also the colored ones, the date colored ones, I have scheduled travel outside of Daejeon area. So I may connect through the Zoom only for those 3 times or 4 times, 5 times already. Also, there will be also unexpected travel coming, so that we need to have another time slot for rescheduling the schedule. Right, makeup classes. Makeup class hours will be found out, say, next week, somewhere. Right, something like that. So there will be some changes. Also, I will invite 2 guest speakers, one for worship design who was on Navy, and one for coming from Hyundai Heavy Industry. They two have a long experience on this. All right, question on schedule? No? And move on to introduction to naval architecture. So this is the textbook I'm trying to use. And right hand side is Korean translation. And this is just an overview. So what is naval architecture? Engineering discipline. It is engineering, dealing with the design, construction, maintenance, and operation of marine vessels and structures. And naval architect is a person. So originally it comes from Navy. Yeah. That's why they naval. Because 2,000 years ago, Navy was most important for nation to win the battle between nations, rather than say land-based military. Because you see the travel speed or travel amount when there is a not so much road, paved road, it is not easy to move for the big number of soldiers. With using horse and right, coach. This is about Battle of Actium. You know about Julius Caesar assassination on the BC 44. Right? BC means before Christ. So it's a long time ago. Right? So 200, more than 2,000 years ago. War broke out between Antonius Octavian. Octavian is Caesar's higher by adoption because Caesar was assassinated. The sea power was crucial in the Battle of Actium. You already see that there are big ships, wooden ships. Right? Many people on board. So at the time there was no tank, no car, right? No guns. So you see that comparing to nowadays, sea power is very important. Navy was very big position. Basic definitions. So you will start to learn the strange name or terminologies. Bow, the front and bow, stern, and so is the front, back, and port side and starboard side. Port means the port area. Right? So every ship should stay at the port in this way. Front in. So port side is always at the port side. That's why they have a name of port side. So every ship should be aligned in this way at the port. Because if the ship is going in this, stay in this way or the other way, it is very complicated. May cause a collision between ships. So for the traffic safety, every ship should be stay and go in. That's why. No, left hand side. Sorry. And then if the ship is staying in this port is this side, when the night is coming, city is bright, but the ocean is very dark. So that you can see the stars through the starboard side. Name is coming this way. And then what else? Okay. Draft. Depth and freeboard. Depth, draft is the vertical distance from water level. So this is draft. Submerged depth. Submerged depth. So can you swim? Somebody who was already inside the dive. I guess most of you are. Can you answer that if you are baked, unsuited, your bare body, you are inside the water, will no action, your body will be float or going down the bottom of the ocean. Here's my test. If you are staying here without moving, you can move, float, right? But without moving, they come and in the water, swimming pool, then your body will be floating near the surface or down to the bottom. Floating down to the you should choose floating down to the bottom. It's not easy. And actually, it's difficult. So that's why I'm asking you, can you swim? Because you must be have a training when you are young. Right? And then there's one course of training of swimming is you make your body. In Korean name is 새우등뜨기. I don't know when in English name. But if you try make your body as a ball and then stay in the water, you see that whether you are going upward or down to the bottom. The answer is your chest, your breathe. If your lung is full of air, you will stay near the surface, your body. But if you are empty of your lung, no air inside, then your body will be going down slowly. So it's very near, your body is near the weight of water. Very similar. So that's why if you have people lost into the water, sometimes they approach, sometimes they no exact. Because also there is a clothes and other things near to the body, and also in the long run there is biochemical changes of body that create different weight per volume. So draft, once again, this is a submerged portion of the ship or depth. And depth is the whole depth of the ship, but not whole depth. It is up to, we call this uppermost continuous deck. So we call this upper deck. Upper deck, need to bring a ship model next time. You have a bottle, somebody? Can I borrow your bottle? You see that this one is a ship or submarine? And bottle line is your own. That is up to the main floor, or they are saying uppermost continuous deck floor. Four continuous one, because there is a superstructure. Right? Most of ship has a superstructure. Unmanned ship may not have a superstructure. Hotel facilities. So that is not upper deck. Upper deck may be the continuous full coverage floor. And then measurement should be at the midship. Midship is in center of the ship, in lengthwise. So you measure the depth, and then difference between depth and draft is a free body. Free body is for the safety of the ship, the requirement of the safety regulations. because water is coming and ship is rolling, so that you need to have a margin, or otherwise water is coming into the ship. You need to calculate based on regulations. Deck is floor, and bulkhead is vertical structure like this, wall inside the ship, wall of a building. Shell is a skin of the ship, you may think about the airplane. Shell is the main structure. Also, so airplane is very similar to a submarine, and also structure inside the airplane is also similar to submarine, and they also use many similar terminology inside the airplane. Watertight skin around the side and bottom, and inner bottom and double bottom. So the ship, there is a decks. There are decks. It is a big ship, bigger than say 100 meter. And we call this is a double bottom here. And because ship is sometimes hitting the rocks or bed of the shallow water, you may remember the Titanic case. Titanic is big disaster 100 years ago. What happens? Can you remember? Why Titanic was sink? Why? Hit iceberg. Then crack. Because of the iceberg hitting the bottom side, there was a crack. And then water is coming into the ship. And then at the time, the bulkhead was there because of the structural safety, but not watertight bulkhead. So that one room is flooded, and then the water is going over to the another room, and then another room. That was why slowly, not fast, slowly. That's why the film goes slowly, right? They are moving in this way. Finally, they use a boat. And then, because of that big disaster, the regulations started to build for the safety. First one, it was watertight bulkhead was coming into the rule. And then also the other one is because you may see that there are more chance to make a break in the bottom area, so that double bottom should be the requirement. That's why there is a separate basic definition of the bottom and the ship structure is very complicated. Many different names. You cannot remember nowadays. Deck is there. Deck, bulkhead already explained, and then outer plating, and then I can say no more. Right? But frame. There are many frames like this one. Frame, your body frame. Fish also have. Fish doesn't have. Whale has a such a rounded. Also airplane. You cannot see the structure, but airplane also have a ring structure to protect the shell. And there is a deck platings, several decks, right? And also this one is a double bottom. Double bottom should be structurally strong and also the watertight and they are divided into small tanks. Weight definition. So I already told you that your body is very complicated in terms of weight. If you put your some stone into your pocket, then you'll be going down faster. So the scuba because they have a air tank, compressed air tank, you need to balance your body by using weight. So that coming back to the neutral position. Neutral means similar to the water weight. Volume, right? Your original body is neutral, but with the air tank, that will be lighter, so then you need to have a weight to balance the buoyancy of air. So light ship is when the ship was newly built from the shipbuilding company, new ship that we call the light ship, without cargo, without human body's luggage and food and hotel facilities and oil, gasoline, not gasoline, but fuel oils. So the empty ship, newly built. So you may imagine that you just received your car, new car. There is a light. New car from the automotive company. Just delivered. And dead weight is for cargo weight. It's simply cargo weight. And displacement is together, dead weight and light ship. Total weight. And payload and dead weight is similar, but it's historical name and a small difference, but almost same. But for say payload is usually used for Navy ships and cruise ships because their cargo weight is very small compared to the whole ship. Compared to the oil tanker or container ship or bulk tank, oil tanker, oil carriers, most of weight goes to cargo rather than ship weight. But for the Navy ship or the cruise ship, the fluctuating cargo weight is smaller comparing to the ship. The human related or Navy ship may more on guns and missiles or something, but comparing to the ship weight is very small. So theoretically, dead weight and payload are similar, but it is used for different purpose. Question? This one is, I will definitely go to the midterm exam about this weight because it is not simple. If you do see some history, Egypt, Khufu ship, his name is Khufu ship. You can visit the museum, but it is already more than 2,500 BC. See, then come together, it is more than 4,000 years ago, right? This is BC 2000, 4,000 years ago. Length already 44 meters, big one, right? Big one, using wood. If you are trying to make a wood ship with this size, you may imagine that how will be the difficulty. Breadth is this size, and then buried. They found at Giza made of special cedar wood. Greek is ancient Phoenician and Greeks were well-known shipbuilders and navigators in ancient Mediterranean world. Roman also too, after the Greek. So the historical terminology is coming from that years, more than 2,000 years. So special. Cleopatra. You are too young to know about this story? Have you heard about Cleopatra? Yes. No? No? You don't know about Cleopatra? No, heard about Cleopatra? No? You don't know? You know? You know. So no, everybody knows, right? Very famous. But it is about Caesar. You see, Actium, we see that BC 44, right? Around that year. So that is before Christ story. Right? Oh, yeah, same story is Caesar was assassinated in alliance of Octavian and Mark Antonio. And this is a story from the film. Right? I copied from the Wikipedia. Cleopatra, Richard Burton, and what is this? I cannot remember her name. Anybody remember the actress name? Famous actress who played the Cleopatra? Should be written somewhere. No. Elizabeth Taylor is at the top. Right? Elizabeth Taylor. That is the name of the actress. Right? Galley. Galley is the ship type of this kind of one. And relied mostly on oars. 16th century. So it's a 1500 something. The last great era of the war galley in the Mediterranean Sea. So at that time, still at that time, Mediterranean is the major place for battle. Right. But not far outside, because outside is too big and too rough. Right. So Mediterranean is compared relatively calm. And then also there are surrounding countries, they need to take more territory and more something. And then you also see that the wind sail was not so used for this galley. Why? Because oar is more speed, and also speed also then more important is the maneuverability. With wind, it's okay to stay tuned with the wind for traveling long distance without human body. Right? But for the battle between navies, you need to have a more navigational power. We call them maneuvering, turning, stopping, and backing also. That is more important. You can think about jet fighters. You need to have a lightweight and go, because you should chase behind the enemy, right? Something in the old days. Eureka, Archimedes. He is also 200 BC. 200 BC, not after Christ. Hydrostatic, you will learn about this one. Hydrodynamic or hydrostatic. What is the difference between static and dynamic? Can anybody answer? Different, right? I cannot, I do not. Stay louder. Moving, right? Dynamic is moving. So one important unit is time. Static, there is no time. Time dependence. Time dependence. No time. Static. dynamic is complicated. You need to differentiation using time derivative is something. Or say motion is an acceleration, double derivatives. And then Archimedes is known as first engineer of history. Engineer. First engineer of whole human race of history. So you also know that the gold crown and water and somehow they want to measure, right? Measure. So it's a very sensitive in terms of measuring, weighting. See, I told you that weight definition is simpler, but real calculation is complicated because at the time of this one, it was a very difficult problem at it to find out whether the crown was made of pure gold or not. But how can you measure the difference? So he invented two ways, an idea to find out calculation. Question? No question? Then we can have a 5-minute break. Then I come back for 2. This file was uploaded on the Kakao, and also T uploaded to the website. Do you have any problem downloading this file? Lecture note? Any problem? No? So easy, okay. And our website is also working now. So second part of naval architecture. So Roman and Viking. Triremes, Romans and Greeks. So they use wind and oar too, right? And also you see for Koreans, that turtle ships also use 2 decks of oars, right? Upper deck, lower deck, two layers of oaring to make a higher speed and also, as I said, maneuverability, maneuvering, turning, stopping. So they have 3 times somewhere. I don't know. The picture is not so clear, but you see from this picture that the 2 layers of oars. But for the Viking has a long ship. The others are similar, the wind power and oar, but they are saying it is more longer than my understanding of this long means. I will show you another story about turtle ships story in Korea. That was a war between Korea and Japan. The 16th century. So similar, not far away from this Viking. Viking is from northern part of the Europe, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, somewhere, right? And that part of ocean is very rough. Even though the White Sea, I don't know, inside of Sweden, Finland, or Russia, the water is calm, but outside part is very rough because of the Pacific Ocean. It's north of UK. Then you need to have a slender ship. Long ship means a slender. Slender means not fat. Slender. Long and thin ship is better for rough way water. Traveling over. So that I show you in the later stage that when the Korea and Japan has a war, Japan is invading. Oh, where is Japan? So they should travel across the ocean between Korea and Japan. And also Japan is a island nation that Pacific Ocean is very rough. So their ship is slender, long and slender. But Korea, as I told you, that Yellow Sea is a main sea for living for Korea, and China is over there. The Yellow Sea is very shallow sea. Maximum depth is less than 100 meters. So that they have a turtle ship is very blunt, short, slow. There is a big difference between ships. So we'll see more on this. So I guess Viking is a similar situation there. Historic wooden ships, Santa Maria is for Columbus. 15th century. Victoria. Can you remember Victoria is used for what? Famous for what? Okay. So I put in sequence of timing the Korea, and Mayflower. Mayflower is for immigration to the United States. And then steamboat is coming, 19th century. And Cuttisack is probably US or UK. But I put this one because it is a famous drinking alcohol brand, Cuttisack. But I know this one is famous in history. Columbus has a theory. He is a Columbus theory that Europeans could reach China by sailing west, not east. See, from Europe to China is in east side, right? But he wants to travel west side to the Atlantic Ocean. And then he has a theory that because they start to know that Earth is round, that he theorized to make a west round traveling, then can reach China because of what? Because China trade is very good for at the time to import and export goods between Europe and China. So only for the money, money. But he needs the money to build and hire sailors. So that it is something like venture capital, something nowadays. For Spain king and Queen Isabella is more famous than king. Agreed to funding, angel funding, right? Angel funding. So voyage and in end of 15th century. So he has three ships. One well-known ship is Santa Maria, Queen and King. And then there is a big. This is end of 16th century. Big battle between Spain and English. Before then, Spain was stronger. England is second. But after this battle, England wins, I guess, and then from that time, UK, England can be becoming the world leader in force. So history changed based on this Navy battle, big battle around this century. I don't know whether there is a gun. Can I see the gun? Oh, Kelly is okay. All right. And then train and car. 17th century. Mathematical, philosophy, natural. And then the physics, dynamics, inertia, and second order motion equation coming in this way, and then locomotive engines for the train, 19th century, and then patented automotive engine. So it is only how many years ago? 115 years ago? 115 years ago. Iron ships, not wooden ships. First iron steamships. So you see that fume and gas is coming from, so that they may use coal. The Titanic also use coal burning. So you see the steam turbine engine, something, coal-fired steam turbine. And also you see that there is a iron-clad. Cladded means covered, covered warship, and also iron and sailing steamship together. So sailing and also steam engine together is used. Hybrid type, hybrid. But Titanic, there is no sails, only steam engine. So, but you have a big 4 engine rooms, 4 burning place. So big engine, high speed. But the disaster happens for the first voyage of the ship. Very new ship, very luxury ship. First voyage from UK to United States. That's why it is a very big. Just 120 years ago, 15 years ago. Then after the Titanic, they started to make a regulation for safety. Also, before this big, at the time, from this, I put the venture capital. Venture capital means, I can say that high risk, high return business. Selling abroad, outside of Europe, to the Asian countries. It is high risk, high return business. Then you need to make sure that this ship is good enough to be returning back to the Europe. And how? The technology is, and also safety is. So that they started to make checking whether this ship is technologically safe. So Lloyd insurance company started around this era, period of say 16th or 15th century or 16th century. And then 20th century, disaster, this is safety, more safety on this one. That's why we have a classification society. This is a non-governmental independent organization. The ship owners can turn for guidance in designing, building, and maintaining seriousness, hull, machinery, and equipment. Without a certificate coming from classification society, a ship owner will have trouble acquiring insurance on the ship. You may be not familiar with this idea, but comparing to the building construction, it's very similar. Building construction, if you go to the building construction site, there is a announcement. And then you see that who is the owner of the building, who is providing money for building this building construction. And then there is another company called the designing company. And then third one is construction company. And the final one is the surveyor. How can I put it? Who check whether the construction is going well. Myself, I'm living in a house, wood house, outside of Daejeon area. And nowadays, I am making, repairing, how can I say, some modification of toilet, 2-story, two toilet, down, up in the same channel. Right. Then people are coming, engineers are coming to make a wood part and plumbing part, electrical part, and bass and tiling. I pay money. They are coming. Somebody should check whether they are doing well or not. Right? Otherwise, they just take money and do something wrong, hiding, clean out the surface, but behind, I don't know. But this one is a very small business for my house, but for the ship, for the building, it is important, right? Safety, also money, business, so that you should have a good size of people who should check whether the construction is doing correctly according to the regulation, according to the contract signed. So this one is coming in this way. Coming from the Columbus area to make sure that the ship is safe enough, strong enough, so that they can come back to the original country of Spain with a big amount of cargo coming from the China. So construction also do, so shipbuilding is construction company in comparing to the construction industry. Right? Designing, he's saying he's doing designing for ship. Right? In this Samsung heavy industry. Designers inside the shipbuilding company, but for the construction building, the design office is separate. Construction company does not have designer. They have small piece of designers inside the construction company. Hyundai construction company. But usually the designing office is separate. And then the who is checking surveyors usually for the construction company, the design office is doing the checking. But for the big project, there is another separate company doing. And for the shipbuilding, the classification society is doing the surveyor work. So they stay in the shipyard while ship is constructed to check every small pieces, stages. And then finally they put a stamp. It is okay. Then everything is gone. It is classified according to the regulation that grade A, grade B, or C. It is not simpler, but simply grade A, grade B, grade C, and then the value of the ship or value of the building is classified, and then bank and insurance is saying happy with this situation. Insurance, shipbuilders, and ship owners. And there is a ship owners usually a shipping company, but sometimes it's separated out. For the big building, the owner and operator is different. Owner of the building is another company or maybe international company, bank. But the operating company is usually different. Only operate the building, renting and getting money or something. The ship is also similar. Building construction industry is a land-based. Oh, I like this. Design, construction, and survey is separated out. This is similar to shipbuilding as a design, shipbuilding, and classification society. This one is for the land-based construction industry. This is shipbuilding. Similar situation there. So once again, the stakeholders is a shipbuilder, classification society, ship owner. For me, I am repairing my toilet, my home. I will be the homeowner. I will be the surveyor myself. Not myself. My wife is doing surveying, and shipbuilder is the engineer is coming to my house to make service. Okay. So there are major classification societies around the world. Among them, international one is we call the IACS, Association of Classification Societies of 13 societies. The members are USA, Norway, Germany was separate organization, but they are merged into one 10 years ago somewhere. You know? You don't know. DMV is Norway. GL is Germany. Germanish Lloyd, actually. GL was Germanish Lloyd. Lloyd is from UK, right? But Germanish Lloyd, DMV is different. Japan, France, China, Korea, Italy, Russia, Croatia, India. The big companies who has many ships. Once again, the shipping and ship owning it is not simple because it is a big money, big operation. I explained about 1 day of delay of 20,000 TEU container ship in a port can cost tens of thousands of dollars per day. That's why the organizational structure is complicated. See the, how can I say, starting from shipping company. They are operating ships. Right? And there is a terminal. Terminal is a port, container terminal, port. And transportation is a land-based transportation. The container is loaded to the port, container terminal, and then trucks are moving in delivery to the receivers. And shipping company, there is also separate operators of the ship. The shipping company may have tens of ships. Maersk is from Denmark, the biggest container shipping company. They may have more than several hundred of containers, 20,000. The shipping company Maersk, but each ship, there should be another company, small company operating that ship. We call operators. Cargo owner. When I was returning back to Korea after my study in Michigan University 30 years ago, I bought my car from USA. In addition to some house living furniture, so then I brought half of container box to move. So I can be a cargo. Small. But they, Samsung Electronics, they export many smartphones. Probably number of smartphone is number one. Not money. Number of smartphone they export number one. So that Samsung in the electronics will be the big cargo. Then any smartphones to around the world, but through the container or airplane. Orders. Have you heard about orders before? They are the company. This is order is also company. They are collecting small piece of cargo, such as myself. I use only half of the container box to bring my furniture and car from US to Korea. Orders are collecting small cargoes to make boxes and then behind there's a big bank and insurance companies. Great. So it's complicated structure there. You see in the later stage again. I don't know whether it's time. Okay. Done. No question? Any question? SNS is done. Introduction. Oh. Right. Then we can stop it this time. If you don't have any questions. Anybody from online? We have many, how many? Students outside. Nobody. All right. Can see you next Tuesday.